calling the meeting of the North Sherborn Water Sewer District Commission meeting to order at 7:32 on what's February 19,
Yep.
2026. And I guess we need to do roll call, do we, Steve?
Yeah, just because we're all online. Steve
Online.
here.
Josh
Marion,
here.
Josh, and I'm here.
Okay.
So the agenda today, and we have Liz, that's always good. The agenda is to go through whatever minutes are ready. It may be more than what I printed. In fact, it's definitely more than what I printed. Thank you, Josh. Review the bylaws and the regs. Talk about water system operator options. Any updates, if there are any, on the IMA with Framingham, and other general discussions on startup activities and ownership transfer, um, and finding a new member, if anyone has any updates on that. Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, Andrea, aye.
Josh, I.
Marion, aye.
Steve, aye.
Um, should we do the minutes quickly? I think,
Yeah, did they look all right? I made those changes. They came through and just sent it out as a final. I'm not sure exactly if my protocol is proper on doing it or whether we're supposed to vote on it before I send out the final. But anyhow, I had a bunch to do, so it was a lot. So now that it's going to be one at a time, I think it'll be a little easier going forward.
yeah, that's huge. Thank you for getting us caught up. These are fast and furious.
Yeah, I think we're
Um,
caught up. And then I also have a file in my Google Drive. I'm going to come up, once we slow down a little bit on these rules and regs, I'm going to come up with the minutes that I'm missing and the agendas. But I have almost every agenda from when we started in a file, and I have almost every set of minutes in a file since we started.
you mean the recording?
No, no, I have only the recordings, the ones that I've done, but the minutes that were sent out before.
Yeah, right, that we voted on, and they can get uploaded. Yeah, the ones that we voted on.
Okay, so I have them anyhow. I have a lot
Okay,
of them,
great.
so.
Um,
And I will send out when I do the minutes. I sent around that email. When I do the minutes, I'm just going to cut and paste that next steps that comes out of the Zoom software. I'll just cut and paste that and send it. I probably won't proofread it too much. I'll just cut and paste it and send it, and we can use it for what it's worth.
yeah,
I
I
thought
would
I thought that was good, Josh.
I thought it
Yeah.
was great. I just don't want it to be because it's spitting out stuff that isn't reviewed. Maybe just throw draft on the top, or draft AI generated, just so that someone in the future doesn't pull it up. And
Okay.
I would just add, if you do that, then I just feel better about it. We know exactly what it is, and everyone knows that it's just a.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put that on the title.
But it was super helpful.
Yeah, it was cool.
Um, and oh, I just had one comment that I didn't catch before in the minutes, January 29th. The part where we say the draft of the water regulations was reviewed line by line. I would just take out that line by line wording,
Okay.
just so we don't misrepresent,
All right.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll look that up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you'll be able to find it if you go to the draft water regs section of your minutes on January 29, and just it says we went through the draft water regs line by line. Just take out line by line and it's all good.
Okay.
I
Sounds good.
didn't see that the first time. Okay. So we can, I guess we can vote to approve the, or I guess I don't know if I can make the motion to approve the January 15, January 29, and February 5th minutes. Does anyone, um, unless
I
somebody has,
second your motion.
okay.
Okay.
All right, then we can vote Andrea, I, Josh,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Marion.
Aye.
Okay, that's done. All right.
I'll make the change and set out another copy.
Oh yeah, right, as amended, sorry.
Yeah.
I should say that. Um, okay. Should we start with the bylaws? I know, um,
So I know,
or how do we
if I
want to
can,
do this?
yeah, if I can jump into,
Sure.
Matt sent me his changes to the bylaws. I was going to try and share it, but I'm not a excellent
You know,
Zoomer here.
I don't want to cut you off, Josh, but
Yeah,
today I took my changes and
yeah,
it has been a bit confusing because the versions on the SharePoint are not always relabeled with the updated date. I think
right.
we have to get a better system going there so that we know exactly which is the version that we're supposed to be working on because I found it rather tricky to figure it out. But
Yeah.
I took the very latest that I think was the latest
Mhm.
and then I did some minor revisions that we can review here. I
Okay.
I inserted that section on water use limits uh,
Hmm.
and approvals just so we could look at it. And I know Andrea then added another section this afternoon. I have that handy and I can bring it up on my screen. But
Okay.
I could share uh, my screen, which is the latest version with the latest uh, changes so far that I know of.
Okay.
Will that work?
Yeah, that should work. And I
Works for
think, I
me.
mean, in terms of trying to decide how to track version changes and everything, like, does everybody knows how to use the track changes function in Word, right? Because
I'm not, yep.
if you
I'm
just
sorry.
have one single master document, as opposed to making a copy and altering the name and everything, if you have one single master document and just make sure that you have track changes turned on anytime you're messing with it, then it doesn't really even matter if there's two or three different people who are all making changes to the same document because it should track who made what change, and you'll be in
Okay.
different colors and everything. So that way
Okay.
there's just a single master document and we don't end up with five or six different versions that all have a new date and somebody's new initials on them, and then somebody tacks another new date, another set of initials,
Mm,
and then that's to me that's when it gets very confusing. Whereas if you have a single master document, then it's just that one document. But anytime anybody makes a change, it's tracked by Word.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that is good, except I find that Word, the track changes function doesn't always change colors for you, even if you ask it to. And I talked a bit with Andrea about, the process going forward, because even with the system that you're describing, Steve, which can be done, on SharePoint, or you download, you make your changes, you put it back up on SharePoint. It still gets confusing when multiple people are individually having ideas and throwing them in there. So I
But
suggested,
I guess what you shouldn't do though is download it, make changes, and then put it back because now you've created a copy of it. You should leave it in the SharePoint, and only open the one that's in the SharePoint.
Okay.
you can, but then yeah, so it stays in the SharePoint and never comes out. That's one way, but I worry about a lot of cooks stirring the pot on SharePoint. And, I ran into this previously doing the master plan, the open space plan. Now we're doing it again with the open space plan. And we find that I've found that it's goes a bit smoother if we peel off a team of two for each document so that one person isn't doing all of the revisions or vetting all the revisions single-handedly. You have two heads together doing it. And then everybody who has suggested changes can send them to that team of two, or, it can be a leader and a vice leader, and send it to one of those. And then the team of two can work on the document in the interim, because what you end up having with a lot of people fussing with it, even on SharePoint, is that often the format gets screwed up and things are thrown in that it shouldn't be, and it gets a little bit out of hand. So that's just my suggestion going forward, that one person alone should be the master of it, but one person doesn't want to make decisions on their own as to what to include or not. So a team of two can work together very well and get a lot more done in between meetings than each of us maybe repeating each other's work
Yeah, yeah.
individually. So I just suggest that, and I think that might work. I mean, Josh is already involved with the rules and regs, Andrea with the bylaws, and I've been working on the bylaws the last few days. So, I mean, I propose that maybe Andrea and I be a team on the bylaws,
Mhm.
unless people want somebody else, and Josh and Steve or whoever else is willing to look at the regs. Um, I'm not so excited about doing the regs because it's just way out of my
Yeah, yeah.
my field.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean,
That sound good?
I am no more an expert on rules and regs than you are, Marion, but so Josh, you might be
Yeah.
definitely kind of leading the charge on that, but I'm
Well, if
happy
we
to be your
can,
second.
okay, if we can get Matt on board, I don't know how long it'll take to sign him up, but he sent over his comments on I guess he sent it over on the bylaws. Um, and I'm sure he's going to go through the rules and regs, but he did it by pen and then sent it. I'm not exactly sure how he got it together and was able to send it as a document with it marked up in pen. Um, but I'd have to work with him. But I think both of us are probably new on revising these documents and sending it back and forth and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure how to take his notes and transfer it unless I go into the document and just start, um, you know, typing it in.
Do you know how to do the track changes function?
I'm learning. I
Okay.
I have had Microsoft 360 for 2 days, so so I'm working on it. My wife is good at doing that stuff. She does it a lot, so she's going to help me. I guess my question is, like, if people put track changes through, let's say we have a big pile of them on the side, everybody puts their comments in. Um, who decides? Who decides? I kind of thought it would work like we all put our comments in the side, and then at a meeting we all just decide which ones go in. A couple of times we all worked together. Somebody was typing in. I know last time with Liz, it was great. We all talked about it. We decided on changes and threw it in. So I don't
That's
know. Let's say Steve and I are in charge of it. How do we decide which ones we take and which ones we don't take?
Well, I
I think
think, go ahead, Andrea.
I was just going to say put in what you agree is appropriate, but as you type it in to the document, it will underline anything that you're adding, so at least we know it calls to our attention that that's something you added, so we can, focus on that
Okay.
when we meet as a group. So I
Okay.
would say just type your changes that you feel are appropriate right into the document. It will show us what you've added, and then I would send it out. I think it's good to send it out before the meeting so people can look at it. and then we can all get together and go through it together.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially, Josh, I think the way that Marion is proposing, because any team of two would not be a quorum, so
Hmm.
essentially we can discuss things offline, so we
Okay.
can email each other suggestions, or even if you're just like, oh hey, I made these changes, and then you could like send a document to me, and
Okay.
we can have that discussion offline. But then ultimately, whenever is the next water district meeting, we would bring that document forward to the entire commission, and we as a group would have to approve any changes to any documents have to be approved by the full group in an open meeting. But we
Okay.
can be working on editing the documents offline between meetings.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
And once the whole group has approved whatever we've done so far at one of our regular meetings, then you can accept all those changes
Hmm.
so that the next round of track changes will still show up clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because basically, with the track changes function, you can essentially just tell it, all right, all the changes that have been made, just accept all of those changes. And then it'll basically make all the changes and wipe out all the extra formatting and stuff and the colors, and that'll
Okay.
be the new version of the document, basically.
Okay.
Or you can go in item by item. If somebody was like, no, I don't like this change, then you can kind of delete that change one by one. And then once you've kind of deleted whatever you don't want to keep, then you can kind of accept everything else, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
That's gonna.
the
Yeah.
teams of two can consult with anyone who is not on the commission. For example, with Liz or
I was
Jeremy.
gonna offer, yes. Yeah.
Thanks, Liz.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
or Jeremy or anyone else. And
Or
Matt
Matt.
is an associate member, so it's okay for him to work on it with you, Josh.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Matt and I know quite a bit about the regs and rules and so forth. As far as doing all the track changes and stuff, that's where we're gonna have the problem.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean, I can
we'll reach out.
certainly help you with that. I think it's like we, at some point, since the last meeting, Marion and Jeremy and I met, and we were just kind of like, yeah, what we really need on the commission is more actual technical expertise. So,
Yeah. Well, we need Matt. You should see the comments he put in. He marked it
Yeah,
up. So I think he'll be a good addition if he comes aboard, hopefully.
Amy, Josh, if you want to send me those, we can start trying to add them in as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could send you what he said. Like I said, he used a pen, marked it up by hand.
Okay. As long as it's
but
legible, or you
well,
can drop it in the share. I do have access to the SharePoint as well.
right,
So
yeah.
Okay.
if you
I
want
think,
to drop it in there, I can get my staff working on looping it in as well.
Okay. Great.
Just so we can help streamline this for you.
All
yeah,
right. Perfect.
that's helpful, Liz. I mean, you've been terrific, and we totally appreciate it. At the end of the day, though, we have to make sure that it's the commission that is the final vetting, to
Absolutely. Yep.
We'll still review it once it's done, right? We can
yeah.
see the track changes once they're
Yeah.
done, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get those over to you or put it in the share file. I'll figure a way to get it to you.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
And then
So then
Liz,
Marion, oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry, Liz, just make sure that if you enter stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and this is true for all of us, that you change the date on the front page and
Yep.
change the date on the file name. Because that caused a lot of confusion. You left the date August through a whole bunch of iterations, and that was not correct. So
Okay.
I would just, really put a new date up there.
Okay.
So Marion, did you say that you have what you believe at least to be the most up-to-date version of the bylaws? I guess absent Matt's handwritten changes, but
Yes, I do, and I'm happy to share my screen
Okay.
okay.
if you want to start going through them. It's up
Yep.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead. Okay. I just have to open the file, so give me a minute or two.
And I apologize all. I got to jump over to conservation. We have a hearing going
Oh,
on
yes.
tonight. So I'll come back if that ends in the next hour. We'll see. Because
Cool.
I'm sure you'll still be here in an
Oh,
hour.
gosh.
Well, we probably will be.
I
I'll
hope
see you in a
not.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for your patience. I'm opening it up.
Josh, you can interject with Matt's comments too as we're going through it.
Yeah, I
If
I
you
I
can.
would have to I would have to open his. He's got a lot of comments.
Oh.
I was going to try and share that and just kind of scroll through and show you, but there's a lot.
Well, we can do it that way too. But let Marion have a hack at it and then.
In the version that I'm about to share, oh, wait a second. Sorry. Trying to move this. Oh, there you go. Now let me go back to Zoom, share screen. Here we go. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to shut down your faces so maybe someone else could watch for hands going up.
Oh yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, great. All right, so here we are. Can you see that? Is it big enough?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. And I have not accepted the changes. So you see the old August date is up there, and I just added the February date. I'm going to go through yeah. Okay, this you've all seen. I added that on the district receives, etc. Water service is subject to Framingham's regulations, and also the IMA and the Town of Sherborn Select Board, and the IMA among the district, the Town of Sherborn Select Board, and the City of Framingham. The water service is also subject to the IMA.
Do you define IMA anywhere first?
Yes, I'll do it here.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it right now because my typing is so bad.
All right.
And same with Natick. I just added that. Okay, this is unchanged from the changes that were made before. These are all old changes. I just broke the paragraph up a little bit, but I did have a question about the quorum. 4 members shall constitute a quorum. I'm not sure that that's the case. 4 members are necessary for a vote, but can 3 members still meet? I mean, quorum is defined, I think, in elsewhere in law. So what do you think? Maybe Steve, do you have an opinion on that?
I took
What is
that.
the
I
what does the
put that.
legislation say?
Yeah, I put that. What I believe I did was cut and pasted from the session law.
The session law says that for a vote requires a positive vote or negative vote requires 4 out of 5, but it doesn't say anything about a quorum.
Yeah, because a quorum would suggest that 3 members can't meet in an open meeting, that it requires 4 members just to even have a
Right.
meeting.
That's right.
But that would be different from saying that uh, a positive motion requires 4 out of 5. Essentially, it's saying that all positive motion votes need to be a supermajority of the commission. But that's different from a quorum being allowed to meet and discuss.
That's exactly right. That's why I put the question there. I think um, we don't even have to necessarily say what constitutes a quorum, but we could. If a quorum is just the numbers of members that can meet in public meeting.
So, so I don't know, Andrea, did the legislation specify that 4 members was a quorum?
No, it does.
Um,
It does not.
so I thought I cut and pasted from that directly, but I'm not sure. Is that the most recent version? I hate to do this, but um,
You mean of the legislation?
nope. Of that, yeah,
Of
of
this
the
of the
bylaw.
bylaws?
Because I thought that the changes that I made, let me, and I can answer that question. Um, I
Uh,
thought that I had just cut and pasted. So um, the
Oh,
commission,
I see what you mean. Yes. Let me just double check the legislation. I don't have the entire legislation in front of me. Maybe someone else can take a look at that.
so
And-
I think the issue is that that is not the most recent, the foundation, that document is not the most recent one because that was um because I don't have that quorum in my document. I don't have any reference to quorum in my document, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. This is a membership in terms
Hmm.
uh,
It
that
is in the legislation.
the quorum is in the legislation.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, no, wait, actually, no, it says 4 members of the commission shall constitute quorum, and affirmative vote of 4 members shall be necessary for any action requiring a vote of the commission. So is
well then,
that,
yeah. So it
it
does
does.
require 4 members for a quorum.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm taking that out.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's funny.
Why was it set up that way, Marion?
Okay. Okay.
Why why would we have set it so that 4 out of 5 members was a quorum?
Because there were reasons for representation to make sure the town had proper representation. If you had three, they could be all,
Oh, 2 from the owner's side. Yep.
Right, but as long as nobody's voting, 3 members could still have a public meeting. No?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, so I think maybe that's a mistake we made in the legislation.
Yeah, because that's now problematic because every time every time I leave the meeting, like most of the Thursdays when I'm on, I'm only here from 7:30 to 8:30. So as soon as I leave, there's no quorum anymore. So the
But we
meeting,
can't even vote to adjourn.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, maybe Marion, we probably need to fast track the appointing of a 5th member.
Yes, we do. Uh, it's now scheduled because there was a 30-day advertising
Okay.
uh,
Is
requirement. It's scheduled for the select board's first meeting in March.
can we do we have a meeting scheduled next week for select board?
No, we don't. Oh, wait, we do. Yes, we do.
Do all right. Um, I all right. I'll just try to remember to tell Diane to put that onto next week's meeting.
As long as it's been advertised for 30 days, which I think it probably has by next week. But anyway, yeah, Diane will know.
Yeah. I mean, I would say arguably also the 30 days thing is not, I think that is just a local convention. I don't think that that is a law that things have to be advertised for 30 days.
Especially since it's a vacancy that we're filling.
Yeah. And plus at this point we have one associate member who has been actively doing things, at least in the past couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
it's seems reasonable enough to expedite it, given the quorum issues.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's do that, Steve.
Yeah. So I'll try to remember, or actually, Marion, if you can also try to remember to
Yes, I will. I'll try
tell
to remember,
Diane
Steve. Yeah.
to just add that and get all of that stuff ready for our meeting next week. Just because obviously I'm off this week and I'm traveling tomorrow, so I might forget.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. Absolutely. No, I'm writing myself a note. I'll do it tomorrow, Steve.
All right, thank you, Marion.
Okay. So the only other thing in that language from the legislation is I just broke out two paragraphs because it's just a long, long paragraph. Okay. And
Great. Sorry, I want to interrupt again real quick just to ask Josh. Do you know if Matt has officially submitted like an application um for a full
Uh,
voting position?
he has,
Mary,
yeah, he has
He has.
actually,
Okay, great.
yeah.
I just
He,
wanted to make sure his actual application was also in before next week's meeting.
oh yes, it is. It's been in for at least a week
Okay,
already.
great.
Okay. Andrea then suggested a text at this point that I'd like to share the screen. Can I do that, Andrea?
You're already sharing the screen.
Oh, right, but I'm going to share another file on the screen. Here we go. So I have to stop share.
So the most recent draft we had mentions a chair and it didn't mention any other position. So I went back to the session law and cut and pasted the next section so that this is my insert is a cut and paste of the session law, and it actually it references a superintendent, which is a hired position, and then it mentions a clerk that could be a member of the commission, and then it mentions employing a treasurer, which is something in addition to the five-member commission. So anyway, uh,
Can you all see that now?
Yes.
mhm, yep.
so I don't, unless we have an overlap of someone who's able to be a superintendent or a treasurer, those positions are really du duties that we're going to hire someone to do.
I feel like in a previous meeting it was suggested that the town's treasurer collector could probably do that task. I haven't actually spoken to Pam about it, but I think if it's if it's possible to just roll that into the town's treasurer collector position. I don't know if there are laws about that. I mean, we are a separate entity, but we are a public entity, so it's not like we're a private corporation or something.
Right. I think we just need to pay them and ask them if they'll do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody has to talk to them. I know I talked to Pam this week about different banks that the town used because I was doing some banking research, and I kind of said, she said, "Well, why would you want the same bank?" And I said, "Well, in case there was a transfer of funds at some point," and she didn't really um have any idea that we were gonna ask or that they would be combined at all. So somebody's gonna have to breach that at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jeremy volunteered to, but hasn't gotten around to it.
Okay.
He's out of town right now. Um, uh, we haven't had a chance to go through this paragraph of Andrea's, but
Yeah.
it's straight from the legislation. So shall I go ahead and insert that into the draft at this point?
I would, especially if it's just a cut and paste from the legislation, so I don't think there's any wordsmithing that needs to be done.
The
No.
only thing that I changed was I bolded the positions so they stood out so we could unbold
Ooh.
them in the
I
final
like the
copy.
bold.
It
Yeah.
helped, right? I know. Very useful.
Does that tie our hands though? Um, to say that we definitely have to employ a treasurer once we write this into the bylaws?
If you
Well,
Um,
it's
change shall to may,
Yes.
then you have more
yeah,
leeway.
but if the legislation already says shall, I
then
think
it's
we have to do
maybe a
it.
shall.
I
Okay.
think we
Yeah.
need a treasurer anyway. Somebody's
Yeah.
got to do the money thing.
Yeah, because I think the legislation is already saying what the commission has to do, so I think we have to do it. Because I think somewhere up,
Okay.
like the superintendent maybe was a may, the clerk is a shall, the treasurer is a shall, insurance is a may.
Yep.
Hmm.
Right.
So
Okay.
so I think we have to because the commission's going to have funds, so
Okay.
I think we have to have a treasurer. You know,
Yeah.
I suppose the only other option would be that one of the members of the commission themselves is the treasurer, but effectively it's the same deal, right? Is that I suppose it says employ, so that suggests having to pay the person.
Yeah.
I think our idea in the writing the legislation was that the town may be able to use the town treasurer's office, but that would be like an extra little job or big job for the treasurer. And for example, if it's needed and they needed more hands to do that, they could have a part-time treasurer at town hall. Um, I don't know. We have not worked it out, so maybe for now let's leave it as the legislation says and figure it out later.
Yeah.
I think anything we can do to sub out any of this, if we employ a treasurer, even if we are paying the town hall to do the work, it's probably better than us trying to employ a single person because of um, just trying to compensate them with
Oh,
payroll, with taxes, with all the benefits that would have to come from that. But I think we're better off paying quote unquote a subcontractor to do it and not have any actual employees.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the
Okay.
same though. I think that's same. I don't think that changes the wording.
No, it's
No,
we're
it
still
doesn't.
employing someone, but not a direct employee.
Right.
Okay, and these are changes that were already made and have been posted already. Um, we changed the ownership entities because ultimately that will be either Toll Brothers or Kennedy Wilson or the homeowners association or whoever
Marion, do you
ends.
want to go back to do you want to share the screen again with the,
Oh,
oh, okay. That's
oh,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I stopped. I have to stop share and reshare.
You should be able to also share your entire window as entire screen as opposed to just a single window.
Yeah, that's what I should do. Okay. Here we go.
I'm having her do it because I'm so lame. But
You're like,
be
That's the
honest.
chair's prerogative.
Yeah, right.
Your job
Had
can be to delegate.
privileges.
Okay, so now we're back with the bylaws. Can you see where we're at?
Yes.
Okay. This is not changed from what was up on the SharePoint.
I Marion, I don't suppose you can turn off the paragraph marks and stuff. It's just I know sometimes that's useful when you're composing a document, but it's distracting when trying to read it.
Yeah, let's.
In
Yeah,
the top,
no,
in the middle top of your toolbar.
I can't because this was not my document. I tried to get rid of the paragraph marks and I couldn't.
Wait, but so what happens if you click? See in the middle top of the toolbar, there's a little
Oh yeah,
paragraph.
I
Yeah.
see. Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Thank you, Steve. All the help I can get.
It is useful when you're composing to know exactly why everything looks the way it does, but
Yes,
when you're just reading, it's distracting.
you're right. Thank you. Okay. So some of this red stuff is little things that I added without a permit from the commission. I just thought that had to be a little bit clearer. I have a question for you guys about industrial discharges to enter the sewer system. Are we going to allow any industry at all? What would
Uh, so that this is an MWRA provision. So
oh,
I wrote it to prohibit them, given that we're serving the existing district and there isn't any. If you were to allow them, there is a whole other host and sections about them, about what they can and cannot discharge, pH levels, testing requirements. So I thought this was a cleaner um, way to go. If the district is expanded or you do get an industrial discharge, you are able to amend these bylaws.
okay. Um, I guess the question then is, uh, does the district, do we want the district to allow industrial discharge at all?
Again, if you do allow it, you have to caveat it to align because you're discharging to Deer Island, the wastewater treatment plant, and
Uh-huh.
wastewater is a biological process. So you have to make sure that you're not killing your good bugs that are going to help break down your waste. So,
Oh, I totally understand why you
yeah.
wouldn't want to, but the question is, are we anticipating that there could be industry in the district?
Wait,
Can
so
you just
just to be clear, because I don't think I understand right now, the original version, does it say no industrial discharges shall be permitted to connect to the sewer system without prior written approval from the commission and the MWRA? Is that
That's right.
okay? And so now, Marion, you are basically suggesting just stopping with connect, not,
Oh,
no industrial, blah, 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 sewer system,
at
period,
all?
at
Yes,
all,
yes,
ever.
that's my question. That's my
oh,
question. I'm just
Yeah.
asking the question. I don't know what the right answer is,
So
but
Liz, do you see a problem with just putting a period there and just being like,
no,
just,
not at all. Yep.
okay,
I think I
yeah.
misunderstood before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if in some future version of the town there was to be a proposal of an industrial discharge, the commission at that time could basically just come in and amend the bylaw at that point. But for right now, we don't even foresee that being a thing that happens at least in our foreseeable future. So we might as well
yeah,
just
Okay.
I
full
think
stop after sewer system.
Okay.
uh,
So I don't
Seems
know.
just boilerplate, that line.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, a process like Sweet Meadow, I don't even think they have industrial wastewater, but
Yeah.
they're in the district. That's the only thing I can think of that is.
Uh, Do you,
It
Liz,
would
do you
have,
know, does agriculture count as industrial discharge?
No,
Only when you get up to substantial processes. So it's actually like cataloged in the EPA's NIPDES programs. When you get to a confined animal feeding operation, it's like 2,000 horses or
Yeah.
X number of sheep. So there was Suffolk Downs was classified as a CAFO. That was the only one in the
Okay.
state. And that was because they could stable that amount of horses, they never actually operated as one. So
Yeah.
I don't think you're hitting any of those thresholds at
yeah.
all.
Okay. Great.
It would be ZBA would be the first ones to get hit with that before we get it.
Yeah, and or your conservation commission. Yes.
Right.
So
So here we come to a whole uh, text that I inserted. I mean, I took the bylaws of the legislation, and I discussed this with Jeremy and tried to get language in here that covers application for use of the water and how we uh, how we codify the usage limits for users. So this is basically, I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but this really just defines the reserve capacity and the excess capacity as is defined in the legislation. And then I thought we had to add some detail about how this will actually work. Not so much detail as you would have in the rules and regs, but just at what point do you apply? And this is also from the legislation. Initial application can be accepted when approvals required from local public bodies have been issued. And this is from straight from the legislation. As far as initial permit applications, must include plans. I'm not sure why fees is in there. I think that is not appropriate. That was from a previous version. I would take that out because this is just the initial application.
it's not uncommon to have to pay a fee for a permit
Application.
review. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I'd say it's rare to have a free one. So it'll because your district has to generate revenue. So if you are engaging a clerk or superintendent that may be reviewing these permits, you may want to have the ability to charge a fee to cover the fee they're going to charge you as well.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave it there then.
Yeah.
Um, the initial permit application, though, is not the application that will, where the engineering and all the details are reviewed. This is the kind of application that a developer would come just with the basic plans, like the plans that you guys have now, that we have from Toll Brothers, and propose the water usage. You know the number of bedrooms, you know the kind of a lot of basic stuff about the development. Because we want to be able to commit the water, we want to be able to approve a provisional commitment of water to the development. And that's exactly kind of where we are now with you guys, with Toll Brothers and Kennedy Wilson. So this is just sort of a general standard, and I included the criteria that Josh suggested. Basically, it just refers to Title V
Yep,
as,
that's good.
and basically that's what you've actually done in your MIPA and all that. So you would then get a provisional approval based on the development plans approved by local Sherborn public regulatory bodies. And of course, conditioned on available of reserve or excess capacity. And then how long should such provisional approval be valid? That is, how long is that volume of water reserved for that particular development?
That's tricky.
Yeah, that is
It's
tricky, but I suggest after discussing with this again with Jeremy and others, it should be valid as long as the comprehensive permit is valid or the special permit from the planning board is valid. Would you agree with that? That is, you may renew the comprehensive permit. You may get your special permit. You may have to renew it, if there's a delay for something. But that water,
yeah.
as long as the permit is active or actively renewed, as long as you have that permit, that water should be reserved. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Because then we're holding that water for you, like Toll Brothers and Kennedy Wilson, or anybody, any new person that in the future wants to join in. The final approval would be contingent on approval of final engineering plans, and other requirements. That would be all described in the water use. And final approval, of course, is required prior to initiation of work. So I think that kind of approves the connection and approves the water resource that you want reserved for your development.
So when you say water resource, it's both sewer, it's sewer or water.
Well, I think I'm not sure that I thought it would be sewer and water. Absolutely.
Okay. Yep.
For you guys, certainly it's sewer and water.
Yep.
But for other users, they may not have the option of hooking up to the sewer system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought we had to separate them out. I don't know, maybe we could combine sewer and water in this language, but I couldn't quite see how to do it.
Because you're just outlining a process, you might be able to just, could you scroll up?
Sure.
Maybe? Yeah, just to see how you have the heading here.
Well, I added application
Oh,
for water use because um, we started out talking about water capacity and excess capacity, etc. And basically, I guess the same in theory would be true for sewer.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't see a problem of basically just repeating it most of the language again under a section that says application for sewer use though. I mean it makes the bylaw a little bit longer, but we're not winning points for concise wording, you know. It's not a
Right, because on the sewer side, we're not allocating water or usage. Basically, the sewer use is going to be determined by the water use. If you're hooked up to the sewer, your sewer use is going to be tied to the water use. I mean, somehow I think the sewer has to be, the language has to be a little bit different.
yeah. So I think having a
Yeah,
separate
because you
section
have that
for
weird thing that WRC, the Water Resource Commission,
Yeah,
brought on where if a user has a private well and wants to hook into this sewer system, that would trigger another ITA.
yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
And like
Basically meaning
they're
like
throwing the book at
no,
us on
yeah,
that. Yeah. So
no
um
individual unit is gonna be able to hook into a sewer. It's
you have to have the water from the MWR. I don't know. It's a very, you have to have the water connection to have the sewer connection as the bylaw, as WRC is currently interpreting this ITA.
yeah.
That's right. So I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't even try that. I mean, I'll take that back to to the drawing board and
And yeah, and maybe there's something that puts the burden of application or permitting on the applicant, right?
yes, exactly.
Yeah, but still the bylaw is gonna have to have a section that delineates how one because it isn't only going to be, you know, private homeowners. Like, there very well could be someday in the future a large project, you know, in the MBTA zoning area that will build a new sewer connection somewhere, you know, like, and we'll go jump through all of the necessary hoops to do so. But I think our bylaws still need to define how they would do so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, in that area, they would have water. So if they're within your allocated capacity, they wouldn't have to get another ITA. Um,
Oh, I
Is
see
it
what you're saying.
covered if we
Yeah.
have like, because in our introduction, we have a general compliance with the IMA. Do we need to also just put in any something like governing other approvals of the district, such as our um I and I haven't read the IMA, so I don't know if that points back to the ITA or the um I'm jumping
I
into a legal hole here. I don't know.
Yeah, or let's just set this aside for now. I think
Okay.
it's a good question for sure. Um, but
Back, can I ask a question back to the first paragraph of what you added?
sure.
At the end of it, do you want to say, at the very end, it says district, may be allocated to any other property within the district for new development or change of use at the owner's expense? Do you want to add at the owner's expense or no? If approved
Well,
by the commission.
we don't have who's paying for what in here. But even the current anticipated needs of existing residences also is owner's expense.
But yeah, because this is just about the allocation, right?
Yeah, this isn't about who's paying for anything.
Okay,
I think we should leave
leave it
that
alone.
out of it, actually. That would get very complicated. Okay. I mean, you guys can all review this and come up with other criticisms, but maybe we should move on. What do you think? This was very useful to try to flesh out the application for sewer use. And I guess I'm willing to work on that with Jeremy or or Liz
Okay.
and anybody else for that matter. But just exactly what that language should be, um, I'm not sure. Because, in practice, um, since this has to be, at first, it has to be applicable to these first two developments for sure. We have to make sure we have language in there for you. But additional users, for engineering reasons, I understand that there may not be any or very few additional users, if any, just for because of the engineering of the force main and all that. So, but we have to kind of keep it open just in case, as Jeremy said, as Stephen said, I mean, in case someone else manages to engineer a different main line. Okay. I thought we'd get the district water regulations in there just so people know where to look to find out what is a violation and how much it will cost them.
I think Matt had some notes about that too. I don't know if this is the section I brushed through his. I'd have to look back at that.
I think maybe somewhere
Oh
offline,
yeah, it was this in there, 2.3.3. I remember he had some notes in here too. So yeah, like you said, Marion, I'm gonna have to at some point, either he or I'll have to take his notes and just put them in as what do you call it?
well, as revisions,
Yeah, revisions. Yeah.
But you know what you should do according to our kind of process is maybe send or leave the notes in Jeremy's office
Hmm.
and I'll pick them up and
Okay.
me and Andrea can work with Jeremy on uh, getting his notes included in a new version or in um, a new track changes.
Okay. I have it as a file. I can email it to you.
Oh, fine. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
And actually, I'll just email it to the whole group so everybody has it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you'll
yeah.
get a copy of it. I'm not exactly sure how he did it because it's on this platform, but it's handwritten. So I don't know.
He might have done it on his iPad or something.
Maybe he did. Yeah.
Okay, but if you can send it, that would be great.
All right. Yeah, I'll send it out. Yeah. So you could. What if you went up in here to stylus?
Yeah.
Stylus pane. There's a way to write on this, huh?
No,
No.
not on this one.
No. Okay. I don't know how he did it, but anyhow, I'll email it around. And
Okay,
maybe somehow we can get his notes put in here.
yeah, okay. Well, so far, when we get to the end of this, we can decide if we want to accept these changes for now. And then we'll have a new version
Okay.
without all the track changes, and we can start with a new bunch of track changes for next meeting. I had a question here. Um, as municipal charges, and I'm not sure what this law is, but if it's municipal charges, it has to be collected by the town of Sherborn. Is that correct?
They do collect the fees that the tax assessors, wait, yeah, the tax assessor's office
But the
collect.
collection of penalties, those are only our, this is just for us though, right? These will be our
Right,
penalties,
But
not
the
town
town, no,
penalties.
but the town, that's why we need involvement with the town treasurer.
Okay.
We need involvement with the town tax assessor because they can put a lien on the properties. So they do in fact issue the penalties and fees, but then they need to turn the funds over to us.
Okay. All right.
So, and this law is referencing the right, hang on, let me go to A, collection of rates and charges supplying of water lien for delinquent charges is 42A. And then it moves through. So I think we had discussed last time I had a maximum penalty of like $100 in there, and that was 300, I believe, is the maximum per offense.
right.
Okay.
The max comes down in a later in
Oh,
a
okay.
so I'm not sure. Yeah, this has to is the fees and penalties shall be collected as that has to be by the town of Sherborn.
It is. I believe it is. I read that in the session law.
Right, but it's not the assessor that does that unless they don't pay, and then you put a lien on their taxes.
It allows cities, towns, and water districts to make these collections or liens.
So we could collect the charges. I mean, the water district could be the ones that are collecting here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So those then would not be
I would
municipal
say
charges?
you could just leave out that your addition by the town of Sherburne because I think if it just says collected as municipal charges in accordance with the general law, then that leaves open whether it will be the town of Sherburne that's doing the collecting or if it is the district, right?
You could even get
Anybody.
rid of municipal, right?
Yeah, right. It could just be collected as charges shall be, or just
Yeah,
shall
yeah.
be collected in accordance with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because if it's the general law that's dictating how it's done, then you just reference the general law and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thanks. Then Article 3, right of entry. Um,
Yeah,
I
we
thought
talked about
maybe
this one.
with advance notice was a good idea there, but that's just my idea.
In fact, we talked about that. Didn't we talk about that at the
Oh, yes.
previous meeting?
Yeah, we did.
I
That's right.
think. I think
Didn't we decide that
advance
we actually
notice.
don't want to give advance notice?
Yeah, I thought that's what we
Right?
were
I mean,
talking about.
if a health inspector is gonna go to a restaurant because there was a report of something, bad going on, you wouldn't want to tell the health inspector that, oh, you have to give the restaurant advance notice that you're coming to inspect them. So to give them
Right.
time to
Yeah.
clean up whatever it is right?
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. I was just a little uncomfortable with the word reasonable because it's so vague.
Yeah.
It is,
Is-
but eventually that might be up to a judge to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember we hashed this out at the last meeting, but I don't remember what we came. I remember we talked about reasonable. I don't remember what we came up with.
I
Yeah, because I
think
don't think I don't think you want to specify working hours or daylight hours or whatever, right? Because you don't want to handcuff yourself, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we got rid of the at reasonable times. So we just got rid of that whole caveat and then just said
Yeah.
that we may enter the private property to inspect for
I,
compliance and we held the rest. Yep,
that's what
that's
I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. We don't need to specify when they go in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Prohibited discharge. I'm not sure who added groundwater watering discharge, and I don't know what that dewatering, I'm not sure what that is.
that might have been me.
Is that a
So
construction? That's a construction discharge,
yeah,
isn't it?
so yeah, it is a
Oh,
construction discharge, and if you are discharging groundwater dewatering to an MWRA sewer, it does require permitting at the MWRA level. Because you're in a more rural area, they're likely going to say no most of the time because you can discharge it overland, have it infiltrate on site. You have other options. So they don't want it to go to Deer Island, be treated as wastewater when it can just be discharged on site. So that came out of a call with the MWRA we had recently.
oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Um, okay. And this is, I guess would be MWR language as well.
The grease interceptors.
The
This,
substances that may damage infrastructure, may interfere with treatment, may impact.
yeah.
Okay. Grease interceptors. So in your developments, are you going to require grease interceptors? Uh,
Nope. They're typically required when you have kitchen flow. So, restaurants, cafeterias, those types
oh,
of
I see.
entities need them.
Okay.
So that's just to prevent grease can clog and gunk up your sewers over time. So you want to
Right.
catch it before it goes out. So that's covered by referencing Title V, which also says when and where you need them.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. And so we don't have, oh, I see. That was just, okay. Would this, owners are responsible for removal and disposal of captured grease? If you don't have grease interceptors,
So,
Just boilerplate.
but
yeah, it's
that,
implying you have so when you have a grease trap, you have to regularly maintain it. You have to go and have it pumped out and then it's disposed of. Otherwise, it fills up and it doesn't do anything. So
Okay.
it's implying that you have one and you will maintain it.
Okay. Just in case.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
When the first McDonald's comes in along the road,
I would take a McDonald's in Sherborn. We need more
Yeah.
we need more commercial real estate taxes, you know.
You gonna get a new vest, Will? Are you gonna get a McDonald's vest? You gonna start building something else now?
I like it. That's a good thought. I'll try.
Okay. All this I thought sounded okay. I don't know why I put add detail. All conservation be do we have to say something about the master meter at the Framingham town line?
So no, because that's your infrastructure. This is saying if you are a customer, you need a meter. The
Okay.
master meter is discussed in your IMA, and then will be reviewed and approved by the MWRA, City of Framingham, you guys. So,
We do refer to master meter here, will be tested and calibrated. Yeah.
yeah, and I guess just to that, you're going to have separate standards that are dealing with your water conservation and your water loss that talk about some of that O&M for the system. I think that master meter is for like Coolidge Crossing and Meadowbrook. They're going to have a singular meter, I believe, at rather than an individual one at every
Oh,
single
I see.
address. Yeah,
But we are going to have also a master meter at the Framingham Sherburne town line.
absolutely. Yes. Yep.
Do we have to say something about that master meter here?
No.
It would be in the IMA, but still.
Yeah.
Okay. It would be covered by the section that said they'll be tested and calibrated. So, yeah. Okay. Water emergencies.
The fire hydrant use we are still looking into. There's two thoughts, and I need to connect with the fire chief. One, pumper trucks may have the ability to meter their water use. It may be built into their units. I don't know if that's the case in Sherburne, so I do want to check in with them. And then the other is there is it just accounted for in the billing rates and structure already? The general term is unaccounted for water. Would this just be some, you know, like assumption that's made in the rate structure that goes into the business plan? So we are looking into this. I did reach out to Framingham just to see what they do, given that they are also all billed for all their water use and have multiple hydrants throughout the city. So looked there, and we're looking at a few other districts as well. So
I had a question.
Oh, sorry. Stephen and I did discuss this with Jeremy.
yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen. I think Jeremy's thought was that fire hydrant use generally in the public area of the district would be pretty much just absorbed by the excess water available in the district. But we are paying Framingham for all the water that we use, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that gets absorbed. If the developments have hydrants on their property, that would be behind your master water meter.
Correct.
And then your insurance might cover that if you had a fire.
So I think you answered one of my questions where I had the two potential options of fire department meters themselves and reports back, but it sounds like we're leaning towards the way where when we establish our water rates, they need to account for this overage in a way. So
Yeah,
because you are going to be charged. So it doesn't go in here. It doesn't go in your bylaws. It'll go in more of the business plan documents that we are going to start working through.
So Liz, it's almost as much of you're building up a slush fund for a potential 5,000 gallon
Yep.
hit at some point throughout a year.
Yes.
And does
yeah,
that roll over year after year? Like if
It
you,
will because the rates we're going to have to we can get into that and that we're then the rates we're going to have to account for your usage as well as your capital improvements, your
yeah,
maintenance, and any of your staffing. So um, yes, there is going to be funds that can hopefully cover that, or that's what our planning is going to work around.
mhm.
Liz,
And
can
I
I ask
think
you a question
Mhm.
for a second?
No, go ahead.
Liz, the master meter at the town line, um, is that how is that going to be read? Is that just read electronically? Is somebody going to have to access it and look at it, or is it one? What's the maybe it's on oil tanks? There's a system called SCADA. Isn't that an acronym for something?
Yep.
Um, will it be tracked by uh any system like that in real time?
Um, it will be able to be read electronically. I am working through with MWRA and Framingham because they're both going to have their hands in this pot on what exactly it needs to have. I don't believe real-time data is necessarily needed at this point, but we are going
Okay,
to figure that out. So, yes, it will be read electronically. So you don't actually have to physically go to the meter.
right.
Uh,
I was
um,
just I was just thinking that if it was real-time data, I don't know what's out there for apps or software now on meters, but if it was tracked real time, then if there was a fire and there was a hydrant use, you could just connect the timing of that and the data, and you could
mhm.
extrapolate how much water was used between a certain amount of time and kind of work the numbers that way. I wasn't sure if,
Yeah, no,
but
that's
certainly
absolutely
no one's
that
going to run out and
works.
just check the meter. Yeah.
No, no, not at all. That does work. You still have to pay for it.
Yeah.
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 And
So,
it would it's a much different setup too, because that would require power to the meters and a sending unit and stuff. I wasn't sure whether it was designed in. I don't know if we want it. I just wasn't sure if it was designed in.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. At the end of the day, uh, we in the broadest sense of the word, who are going to have to pay Framingham for the water that we use. So, uh, yeah, we'll be collecting fees one way or another to cover everything. Okay, let's see. Okay. I think this was the next section we haven't done yet, rate setting. And I made my own, I entered some of my own suggested revisions here, but I'd like you to look at it and see if it makes sense. Right, rate setting, I'm just trying to get everything possible in there. Um, Efficient water use, I thought that was good. I thought we should add a little more than just a public hearing here, but a public notice, outreach, and a public hearing, and then approval of the commission, just to make sure we've covered all the kind of political bases.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
That look okay? Betterments.
I remember we adjusted the rates in Harvard when I was on the water commission there, and I don't remember public discussion
Hmm.
until after it was adjusted.
How'd that end?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. You know,
It's still flowing water.
I'm wondering if all the public discussion and notice and all that is overkill. But I mean, in Sherborn, it's a small district, so it's not a big ask.
Mhm.
I had a question also about notification, but it's sort of more related to the sewer. I think my question was in the sewer regs, but notifying, do we have to notify everyone in the district or everyone that's currently using the water in the district?
I would think just everybody who is essentially currently being billed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. To,
You
Okay.
say users.
Yeah, users, somebody who's in the district and isn't being billed is not a user, right?
yeah, that's true. Okay, so that's covered, but it's a good point. District initiated projects. Do we anticipate that we would have district initiated betterment projects? I mean, we could.
If you got a state revolving fund grant and wanted to expand water or sewer either throughout the district and or expand it further throughout the town, you may
Yeah.
want to do something like that. So I think when I was writing this, I envisioned you getting a grant prior to this.
Oh, I think it's a good point. I think we should uh, anticipate district initiated projects. But I don't think, I didn't delete this, so I'm not sure why it's deleted. I wonder if I can undelete.
Talked about it and didn't think we would be initiating, but if we are, we can put it back in.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that language, I guess the delta here is that if it's citizen based, so if you have residents saying we want water down here, you're saying, okay, you can do that, but you're paying for it. And this is assuming you're getting funding. So it says you would only charge um, new users that the water or sewer goes by their property 50% of the final project cost. So you're assuming that you're getting a grant that's worth at least 50% of the work. I guess maybe that could have been the caveat we were nervous about.
maybe, but I'm not sure why one should even specify the percentage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna undelete this if I can. I'm not sure I can.
What happens if you right click on that paragraph that you've selected there?
I'm on a Mac. I can't right click.
Just do a two-finger click.
Say again.
Do a two-finger click.
Okay. Let me try that again.
And make sure you're hovering over the selected text when you click.
No.
Yeah, see, accept or reject suggestion.
Oh, right. Okay. Let me make sure I have.
Oh,
Wait, I'm going to go back and select the whole text again. Hover, click. Oh, damn it. There. Okay. Sorry. So now what do I do, Steve?
I don't know because
Type it
before
back
you had
in.
a accept or reject change, and this is different.
Oh,
Oh, it might be because there's a shaded. Yeah, yeah. Go down to there, the shaded area,
uh-huh.
and then now right click on that. Oh wait, that's the comment.
Yeah.
Well, just well, I was gonna say just leave it for now, but I'm just afraid that if you at the end of this process, if you accept all changes, that it's going to.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll restore it before I accept
Okay.
changes.
Okay. Yeah, just don't accidentally accept that change and wipe it all out.
Yeah.
Wait, but so then what language do we want for district initiated projects?
Just the first sentence, right? Is that what we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So just
So I can re-delete this. Right. I'm not sure how to delete it now because it's already deleted, but I'll see if I can make it double deleted. No, I can't.
okay. Well, just I guess Marion, just try to remember that. Oh wait.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I see what you are about to tell me. Okay, deleted. Come on, give me the option, please. Oh, here we go. Reject.
There it is.
There
There
you
it
go.
is. And then we'll leave this deleted. Okay.
Yeah. But then the header also that says district initiated projects, you got to put that back.
Oh, right. Yes. Oops.
Oh, you're about to move it.
Uh, okay. I hate to make you watch me because I'm so bad.
I'm learning.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And oh, actually, that one also. Wait.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to
Yeah. That.
restore that too.
Yeah. You have to restore the numbering, or else
Yeah.
the numbering's gonna
I'll
get all
fix
messed
the
up.
numbering. I'm making myself so you don't have to watch this painful process. Okay, I'll fix that. Let's move along. Okay. Annual report to the district. Uh, does this mean to the residents of the district?
Right. That's
Yeah.
what my question was. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
users, yeah, it's a requirement that um
Should this
you
be to the to
Whole
the
district?
Should it say users?
it could say users if you want.
okay.
Well,
Is
can't you just say? Can't we just say annual report?
Okay.
You don't have to specify who it goes to, right?
Below
It's
it
You
gonna.
are
says
you are required to submit like a water confident distribute water confidence information or to your users annually. So
Liz, does that come from MWRA?
it's gonna piggyback off of information that they provide, but
Yeah.
yes.
My town sends a report out and they stamp the town name on top of everything that's MWRA.
Yeah. Yeah, and it can refer back like
Yeah.
do you have is it the full report, Will, or can you get like a QR code that brings you to a website?
Now, do you really think I've read it?
I was trying to think about what I got too. And just yeah.
It's more of a 1 or 2 page.
Yeah.
Of course
It's
I've
like
read
a
it,
post.
Liz. You
Yeah,
know me, I've read it. It's more of a summary, and then there's probably a link to more detailed information, I would assume.
yeah, I think that sounds right. Usually,
do we need to refer to that website or information or anything here that,
Think of
No,
that.
you
That's
you don't.
something that our operator would do for us.
Yes.
oh,
Yes,
okay.
that is
Yeah.
going to be in your scope of work for your operator to develop that content, and up to you if you want them to also distribute it as well.
Okay, so the annual report is intended for whom?
Users.
The
For your,
users, the
Just for
people
yeah,
in the district or consumers.
so they can have an understanding of the water quality they're getting, and then also decisions that the district, the commission has made.
Next time I get one, I'll try to save it. I'm sure I can get a copy of it.
Yeah.
When you're done reading it.
Yeah.
I mean, that maybe there's better wording there, but just to
There's another place below where you're going to need to do that.
say again.
If you pan down, it at the end of that section it says copies shall be made available to district
Oh,
residents.
right. So that's not only users, it's everyone in the district.
Right.
Mm, good catch. So you can
Yeah.
change that to,
I mean, shouldn't we? I mean, can we just the heading? Can it just say annual report? And
Yeah,
then
and
yeah,
then we can
because
caveat it below.
there's already a
Yeah.
sentence at the bottom that says the copies are going out to everybody.
yeah.
Is there a
Okay.
reason there's no reason to send it to people in the district that aren't using the water, is there?
You are correct. That can be changed to customers or users, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, so I guess you could change that to copies shall be made available to users within the district. I wouldn't even say yeah, right, yeah, okay, yeah, users within the district.
Okay.
I like that.
Right. Does it say where the sewer, um, where does the report go? Do regulatory agencies? Hmm. Should
So,
we specify the regulatory agencies?
um, I will say I put this more in there to demonstrate compliance with their requirements during the DEIR.
Hmm.
You are required to submit annual reports to DEP on the water side and the MWRA on both water and sewer. And I also don't know what your IMAs say. So I don't know if there's
Yes.
anything in there as well.
Yeah,
So
probably there is. So, yeah. Okay. So, if the,
I caveated that. It does say on the last any additional reporting required by Mass DEP, MWRA, or other regulatory authorities.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Record keeping. We don't know where our office will be.
It's in the cloud.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, this doesn't say they have to be paper. It just says you need to have records, but yes, that is a consideration. And
Um,
it also doesn't say ooh, this could also be partially delegated as well to your operator.
I mean, I think we need to specify that if someone is coming during regular business hours and accusing the district of not being available because they don't know where we are. Applicable public records law, yeah.
Let me look into that a little bit because you're not the only small water district, sewer district around. I don't know if there is a business hours requirement. That was that in my, oh,
It
I do
says
have that. Yeah.
during regular business hours,
Okay.
but that could still be virtual, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think we need to come back to this. Okay, severability and amendments. We must be getting toward the end. Oh, amendments. I added some language here. Um, Definitely, we need a 405 vote. We know that. Um, Present and voting. I'm not sure what that was in there for, but um, the original text said a two-thirds vote of the district commissioners present and voting. But
Oh, I read that mathematically, four-fifths of the voters present and voting. But since your quorum
It's
so
four.
is four, you can't have four-fifths of four people, right? You'd have to have everybody in that case. So
that's right. Yeah.
Or
yeah,
of
you
five.
can, yeah.
Oh, this is four of um by four.
I Yeah, I feel like saying two-thirds vote of the district commissioners is probably is probably the cleanest way to do it. I don't even like the present and voting part,
Yeah, I don't know why that's there.
right? Because you could have four out of the five commissioners present, and then, but it would still require all four of them to vote in favor.
Right,
So it doesn't matter how many are present at the meeting. The quorum is still four, and it still requires four votes to pass anything, regardless of if there's four or five members present at the meeting.
that's right.
Just like if we had a select board meeting that only had three out of the five members, it would still require all three members to vote in favor of something in order to pass a vote.
Right.
So I would say district meeting by two-thirds vote of the district commissioners. Or you could say four out of five votes of the district commissioners, because that
Yeah, I think that's
functionally is the same. Yeah.
may be repealed or amended, or other bylaws may be voted. You mean approved? Um,
Maybe approved. Yeah, yeah, I would say 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 approved. Yeah, I I do think that all of your additions, Marion, have made this a very convoluted run-on sentence that might
Yes, it certainly is.
I don't think it's internally consistent.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be split of the district commissioners, period. Um, such maybe
But even how you've written it, first being read at a public meeting, then being advertised by mail, then being voted at a subsequent meeting. So now there are two meetings.
yeah,
There's
yeah, I get it. Yep.
And you're committing yourself to mailing and emailing. Um, you could, yeah, versus posting in the paper and or on the website.
Right. Yeah, I think I just did this today, so I'm
Okay.
open to help any help I can get.
I
Maybe we could just say that being advertised to residents of the district by, you know,
Users. Yep.
by users, yes.
but also Marion, your addition is describing the process that precedes the 4 out of 5 vote, right?
Yes, that's right. So maybe maybe approved. Yeah, all of this has to come out.
Yeah, I think we just need to I think it just needs to be the whole thing needs to be reworded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, I can do this, but maybe not while you're watching me type.
Yeah. So I would
That's
just
the idea.
make that change and we can look at that at the next meeting, I guess.
Yeah, okay. It's just a matter of the sequence has to make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm making myself a 9.2. Okay. Severability. Yikes, that's the end.
Wait, is there no? Oh, okay,
Okay,
okay.
that's it.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, I'll make that last change. I'll,
Yeah, what I might suggest you do actually, Marion, is offline go through and just either one by one accept the various changes or just make sure that all your changes are exactly what we want before accepting all changes. I just worry that there are some things that we're like, "Oh, should we do it this way or not? Oh, no, we should keep that." And then so I don't want you to just accept all changes and then some of that stuff gets wiped out.
that's right. You know, what I would like to do is leave it like it is right now with all the track changes and with my notes and sit down with Andrea and go through it again, or whoever else, has time. Just any other one person, so that there are two brains taking.
Yeah. What I might suggest, because I think you and Andrea are going to be the ones that are the keepers of this document, right? So what I would do is actually make a copy of that document with all the track changes,
Yeah,
finalize it the way that you think that it should be, and then you and Andrea can just look at the clean copy and just be like, okay, yeah, this all looks fine now.
Yeah,
And
that's
then you can replace the SharePoint version with the finalized version once you guys have looked at it.
okay, great.
I have
And,
one, I have a question before you shut that down.
oh, sorry. Okay,
Uh,
I'll share it again.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't. I was just, this is pretty minor, but 1.5 under meetings, it says the commission shall meet at least monthly and as needed. What if we were to take December off or something like that? I just don't w want to be overly prescriptive.
Should it be an or? Shall meet monthly or as
Or
needed?
as needed. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Now that's looking ahead.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to stop share. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
With me.
Thanks, everybody.
Nice work. Very comprehensive.
What do we want to do now?
I want to stop.
I
I haven't had a chance to
The
look at
others?
the water or sewer regulations again. So I can't
Uh-huh.
help there.
Okay.
Those, I'll take a
Um,
look at those. I'm going to try and get together with Matt as well. I'm going to send you those markups that he put on the, let me see, on the bylaws.
Oh, right.
Um, I'll send that out, but I'm also going to try and get him to maybe just get on the phone with me, or maybe we could go over them at the same time and just go through the rules and regs. I'm not sure if he took a look at those yet or not.
So with that, I will say there's a lot more flexibility with sewer. Um, Natick doesn't have the same caveat that Framingham does, where Framingham's water regulations say any connection shall follow our rules and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the water regulations and the sewer actually are coming from Framingham regulations. So
Okay.
we do need to be mindful of the Framingham requirements.
Okay.
As your own district, you may have some flexibility, but we want to make sure that we're not doing, if there are big changes, we're going to have to work through that with them. Sewer, Natick didn't have anything like that. So again, we have a lot more flexibility on that end.
Okay. So additions, no subtractions.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's probably the way to go with water. Sewer, again, we have more flexibility, so open
Okay.
to your changes on that. So,
All
and
right.
let me know how I can help and support you guys as well to make this, streamlined as best we can.
Okay.
Okay.
And next on the agenda is water system operator considerations.
I sent along the email I got from Kim. I hope everybody got that.
I did. It didn't really tell us very much.
No, seemed like a quote for helping us get up and running, but not a quote for once we're operational. I read it correct.
yeah, I think we were going to get quotes from both companies, but I think we needed like drawings, they don't need to be final approved,
Yeah.
but something, and I don't know what exists now.
I can
So,
drop the drawings that we generated for the DEIR, which show the scope of the infrastructure at a high level in
That's still at 80. Was that what
yeah,
you said? Was that before at 80?
the 80 scale. Yep. You can
Okay.
drop
okay.
those in. So It at least gives you a summary of what the infrastructure is.
And then I
How
think we
far
need,
away are other drawings?
We're waiting for the snow to melt. We are working on getting our detailed survey and getting those going. We anticipate having construction level, um, probably like late summer, early fall.
Okay.
And those are not, just to be clear on schedule wise, when we go for our approvals, MWRA wants to really hone in and look at our meters. They don't really care after the meter. And um, we're not going to get the infrastructure review from WRC or anybody else. They're worried about how you're operating as a district. So that's why we can have a bit of a lag on the construction level drawings there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we need to write up something and provide the plans in terms of what we're looking for in order to review and select a contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So it's
also there's an issue with just procurement law. I think we need to put it out to bid because of the size of the contract.
Yeah.
So we can't just basically choose between Whitewater and SWSS. I think once we figure out what exactly is the scope, we'll need to go through Jeremy to actually put it out to bid. So that's gonna slow everything down a little bit. But so I guess if the the sooner we can get all of those parameters together, the better, so that we can, because I understand that what Kim has suggested for the interim is probably small, but it would be pretty lame to be like, okay, we're gonna hire you for this interim to figure out exactly what we need, and then be like, oh yeah, but actually we're not gonna hire you because we're gonna have to go through
right.
this procurement process, and somebody else came in lower than you.
Right.
So
Right.
I think we need
Right.
to just do it all at once. So I think we need to
Okay.
do it very, very soon. So I think ideally, if in the, next within the next week, if we can get that the scope, I don't know if is it just, do we just need the drawings from Liz, or what else do we need for that? Do we know?
Well, I think we need a
If
lot
that's a
of
problem.
process information in there too, like, according to the bylaw and the rules and regs, what are they actually going to have to do on a regular basis? And there's two phases to this. There's the kind of initial phase of like, getting the paperwork done, and getting us up and running. And then there's the maintenance phase, which will be a bit down the road, that will require the engineering drawings. But in the first phase, we don't need engineering drawings. We just need to know what we need now up until, say, up until the system is up and running. I mean, that's for now. I mean, it's going to be a couple of years probably.
Well, she had like a monthly pricing. I think
Yeah.
But it made no sense to me. It was very hard to tell what's included and what's not included in that monthly pricing. So we need to be a lot more specific about what we're asking her, I think.
So yes, your scope, I think, for your operating entity would be general operation and maintenance, which would likely include um, fire hydrant flushing, uh, meter checks, just to make sure everything's going okay. Then it's going to include levels of emergency. And what I heard from Whitewater at the last call was they usually assign like a rate structure for that. So
Mhm.
if somebody hits a hydrant or if a main breaks, they will go out and you have a pre-agreed upon um, rate structure. And I think probably, if it exceeds, then there might be a not to exceed clause or authorizations needed. They would also likely be the ones that would operate the valves if you ever have new users coming in, so shut-ons, turn-offs, and then participating in the annual reporting. And I think the one thing I'm unclear on is billing as well. If that is that going to the treasurer now, or is that going to fall with, because you have to go and read the meters. I mean, it is automatic, but you have to.
Yeah, that would be done. Actually,
Okay.
Jared of Whitewater made a pretty good list of what
Okay.
needs to be done. Um, the operation and maintenance expense, and then
Okay.
I think we could take that as a start.
He
Um,
gave you, do you have that? Can you share that with me? Because again,
yeah, that was
Yeah, I
an
think I
email
sent
to
that around.
Josh. He sent
Yeah.
it around, and yes, we can definitely share that with you.
yeah, that'd be, because even if what I'm thinking and what I'm hearing again from our timeline is that if we have preliminary costs, like we can at least submit a working business plan and caveat it with like, yes, we have to go out to bid with this, and we may need to adjust this pricing before we're live to make sure we're accounting for our consultant, but here's what we're thinking. Really having most things thought through on it. So
Right.
yeah,
I mean,
that would be super helpful to see that.
right. This was his sort of email to Josh. So
Yeah.
maybe Josh, uh, we should kind of tease out of that the list of things that he specified would be part of the job without sending the whole email.
Did he
Okay.
give you pricing with that as well, or
He
No,
estimate?
did.
Oh,
So it was a lot.
it was a lot to do, but it is what we need done.
yep.
I have it. I don't have it on my desktop, but I have it. I'll
Of course,
send it back over.
it was all highly conditioned on a lot of other things that he didn't have and we couldn't give him at the time. These are just all the factors that have to be included in the estimate.
Yeah. I was wondering, I mean, he kind of sent out a proposal for operating it. Do you start with sending out like RFPs to get proposals in before you go with the money and then take those proposals and write up what do you call it, an RFQ and then send that out? Or, I mean,
Oh,
they seem to know more about what we need than we do. So it's hard for us to write
you would be sending
the
out an
specs, you know?
RFP, request for proposals.
Right.
Um, I don't, you would do, I don't think you need the RFQ on top of
Do you
that.
take, I don't do a lot of procurements, but do you take all those proposals and kind of put them together and then write an RFQ off of those and then send it back out to the customers or to the vendors? I mean, I'm not sure how that works.
No, you would probably just review the proposals that you get on the initial shot. And from there, I don't think you need to, I wouldn't think there'd be a double procurement there. I think you would send out, you would have your request for proposals. People would then respond to that with their bids,
Okay.
and you would review it from there.
So
That's right.
that's what we have to come up with our request for
Scope of
proposals.
work.
That's right.
Okay.
What'd you say, Andrea?
We need a scope. We need to send out a request for proposals, but we need a scope of work so that people that are bidding on the same thing.
Yeah.
And then they submit their quotes and then we select. But we're probably only going to get two responders.
Yeah. Do we know enough about what we need to write out
Yes.
that's what I'm afraid of.
I
Yeah, okay.
think I think
Yeah.
we'll have to cobble that together and Liz will help.
Yep. Yeah, why don't you send me kind of what Jared had already included as well, and we can develop, um, start developing this RFP.
I don't know if all those things he said are necessary either. I don't
Okay.
Mhm.
remember, but
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe not, but I just thought that's a starting point.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's something to look at to pick out because I
Want me to
don't think
resend that or do we all have it?
Well, can you send it to Liz?
Yeah.
Will, this is a question for you. We're going to be looking for a developer agreement one of these days to, at least start going through with you. And I know you've got a lot on your plates, but are you guys working on a developer agreement, potential developer agreement with Sherborn or with the district? With Sherborn, it would be, not the district.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think we are working on. We've done the one with Natick that's been shared. Framingham's not yet done. Need to circle up with Jeremy on where that stands.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, because
Yeah,
we don't want to forget about it. We have to
that's
have that in place at some point
fair.
pretty soon, and we'd like to see that if we can t start taking a look at drafts and talking about it.
Yeah, at last week's select board meeting, we basically instructed Jeremy to get the ball rolling on that. So I'd say between you and Jeff and Jeremy, I think any of you can initiate. Basically, I think everybody should be interested in getting a development agreement together. So I don't think any of you should be waiting for somebody else to start it. I think
Fair.
you all now have
Time to
permission to
go.
start.
Hit the go button, Steve, right?
Yeah. Yep. Hit the go button.
Yeah, and as soon as you have a draft, the earlier the better. We can make an iterative process and
Yep.
make an agreement that we all like. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So then I guess if Joshua or Andrea, if you can send that Jared's email and I guess maybe also Kim's to Liz, and then
Yeah.
Liz, if you can go
Yeah.
through that and sort of put together any drawings that you think would be necessary as part of the RFP, and
Hmm.
I don't know, basically just pull together. You probably have as much or more expertise about what our operator most likely is going to need to do.
Yeah.
So if you can basically just kind of like package that together and send it to Andrea, and then we can probably I don't know if Andrea, do you once you have something from Liz, I don't know if you want to discuss in a subquorum with either me or Marion to just be like, this looks fine, let's give it to Jeremy and just and set the RFP out, or versus like we need to bring this back to the entire full commission and discuss it before actually sending it out. I feel like that just is going to delay us another 2 weeks before we even start. So I feel like we have a decent enough idea of what will be necessary, and most of the question marks hopefully would be filled in by Liz, so that we would have basically a good enough package to go out. And then we should probably also include as part of the RFP a thing about sort of interim consulting work at the start as well, which is I think what Kim was putting together, because I think
Yeah.
essentially we're going to use that number and stretch it out over X number of months and ask the combination of Toll Brothers and Kennedy Wilson to be like, all right, can you now provide us how, if that comes out to 25 grand, something like that, be like, all right, can you provide us, basically the seed money to get that started from the get-go? But we'll need that number from whoever the operator is before we can actually ask you guys for that money, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a chicken and egg.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll send both of those emails over to Liz.
Thank you. I'm trying to add the plans to the shared file, and I don't know if I don't have rights to add things, so I guess I'll just email them to Jeremy.
Yeah, send them to Jeremy. That's
Okay.
probably the best route.
Copy me if it isn't a problem.
Okay.
Okay, Andrea, can we move to the next agenda item?
Yes. All right. Intermunicipal agreement with Framingham. Any updates? Did we talk about that already? Maybe we did.
No, we didn't, but I don't think there are any
There are
updates.
any?
There
Okay.
aren't, yeah. Framingham's been very slow again.
Okay. Well, we talked about general startup and ownership transfer. I think that will we'll table that and that will sort of fall into place, I hope. And update on the new commission member. We kind of discussed that, so you guys are going to try and expedite approvals. If that's, we need to check the 30, is it 30 or 60-day advertisement?
It may for really official appointments, it's 30 days, and it may actually be 30 days by the next select board meeting, which is March.
no, I think it's a week from it's next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday. So ideally we should, this is a vacant position that really needs to be filled. We have applicants. We have two applicants that I know of, including Matt. And if we haven't gotten any new ones in the last week and a half or so, maybe 2 weeks. So we'll plan to put it on the next select board agenda and just get it done.
Cool.
And I'll deal with Diane and get that on the agenda.
Thank you.
Thanks. So we need to go through Matt's comments on the bylaws still and then finalize those. Marion and I will work on that
All right. I'll send
right
those out.
away.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to do this again. It should go quicker for the water and sewer regs. So we need to meet again, right? Schedule our next meeting. Maybe we can get through both of those in our
Okay.
next meeting.
So
I haven't added anything. Has anybody added or those?
I haven't. I had some questions, I think, more than really adding anything if we were to
Okay.
go through them.
So is Josh the point person for the water regs and the sewer regs?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
great.
think. Yeah.
So
Well, maybe
anybody has changes, they email their changes to, and he'll put it together with
Yeah.
Matt.
As long as I don't have to do it on Zoom in front of everyone like you just did. I don't know if I could do that.
so when can we meet again to continue this?
I was just
Before
looking
we
at the calendar. The unfortunate thing is that March 5th, which is 2 weeks from now, is the town caucus.
Oh,
Which, I mean, realistically, that shouldn't affect most of you, except I am up for re-election for the select board, so I'm going to be at the caucus, so I
okay.
wouldn't be able to be present, which if Matt is appointed next week and he gets sworn in before March 5th, you could still have a meeting with Matt as the fourth member. But there's a lot of ifs there.
No, yeah, uh, right. Yeah, I think we shouldn't count on that. I wonder if we can find another day for the meeting. maybe the Wednesday before caucus, that's the 4th.
I can't because I've got negotiations with the teachers union.
Oh, right, okay. And then the following Thursday is the 12th, and we have select board, so
Look forward. Theoretically, March 11th, that Wednesday, I'm free.
That
I'm
sounds
free then too.
that sounds good.
I can do that.
7 or 7:30. What can work for you, Steve?
7 is fine that night.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got nothing.
And do you want to do it on Zoom again?
I like it.
It works good for me.
Yeah. Easier to share screen. So, okay.
Okay,
Easier for the minutes.
right. And in the interim, we will be working on stuff.
I've got 3 quick items. Can I just
Yeah,
run through them?
sure.
They were on my next steps. I talked to Todd, and I'm going to try and pronounce his last name, Hannison, Senior Account Executive at MIAA Insurance. They're interested. They'd like to talk to us about, any insurance we need for this, what they would offer. And they do it for other places. They've got like the Westboro wastewater treatment plant and very similar systems. But they offer like a bundle package, which is property insurance, general liability, auto, which we're not going to need auto, so that line would just be very low. And that actually, he said, could also include, I think, if a member is driving out to read a meter and something happens in their car, that might cover that. Not necessarily just a vehicle we own and register. Employer liability, in case there's any issues with employing someone. Another one that I liked was public official coverage. So I guess that would cover us as members of the commission. Cyber, workers' comp, if we need it, and then an umbrella. So all that could get lumped into whatever the quote is for the system. And their policies run from July through the end of June. So I don't know when we would want to start, but I think you can pick it up anytime in there, and then it would just be a partial year. He also said that they offer free contract reviews. So they'll review any hold harmless or indemnification language that's given by any bidders. So when a bidder, Swiss or Whitewater, submits their bid, they'll review the language in that to make sure that it's satisfactory. They said they do that for free. So anyhow, that was the quick call I had with him. So I guess whenever we want to get back to him, we can do that. I talked to Pam up at the town hall. She gave me a list of 3 different banks that we could possibly use. Eastern Bank, Leader Bank, or one local. So when it's time for a bank, we can decide on that. We're going to need a bank, I would imagine. And then I submitted a request to the IRS for an EIN, and I didn't hear back because I had some questions for it. I have, actually back to Todd at MIIA. He did send me a copy of their application. So I can send that around, the copy. I forget how many pages it is, the 8-page application. So I'm not sure we're able to fill it out right now, but I'll send a copy of that around. And I do have a copy, just something I screenshot when I was looking at the EIN information. I'm not even sure how we fill that out. I'm not sure what we fall under, whether we're a nonprofit or municipality. So I wasn't able to fill that out yet. And a lot of these ask for who's in charge, who's the contact person, what their address is, what's the address of the entity. And it can't be a PO box, so we're gonna have to figure out what our address is going to be to fill out some of these. So Anyhow.
It's Andrea's house.
So a little corner of the town hall, maybe.
Yeah.
So
We gotta
anyhow,
ask a lot of permission right now at town hall.
I guess so. Anyhow, so I just did some poking around on that stuff, and we can continue on with that. I wrote some notes down, but anyhow, I get started.
Okay.
Thanks, Josh.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Is that all?
Is that all, everyone? Anything else? Okay.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Here we go.
Josh,
Um,
sorry, I was taking my earbuds out.
Andrea, Steve,
Steve, aye.
Yeah.
Marion.
Marion, aye.
Josh, aye.
Lost all our public, so I guess they don't have anything to say.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Phil.
you.
So much.
Thanks, Liz.